Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Tap Trading. So, we had discussed we would be starting with Elliot, okay, in the third episode itself. So, first of all, who was R.N. Elliot? I would not like to ponder much upon it. You will have to know that he was just one of those people, one of the great guys that back few decades ago, several decades ago, could theorize how the markets move in a wave structure. If you see, the markets go up, the markets become sideways, the markets will come down. But all of these, how they happen, in which fashion they move, he could give a theory to that. So, in that sense, he was a great visionary. He could play or see the market timings coming up, the sectors coming up. But how did it happen? And what has he written? So, what has he written? If you want to see, please go and search for the nature's law. Okay, nature's law, secret of the universe by R.N. Elliot. These are the works of R.N. Elliot basically. And somebody had, somebody could think in those times. So what did they think? That is the question. क्या सोचा उन्होंने, क्या देखा उन्होंने? Okay, so I will try to go in like 10 to 15 minutes every time I open. You can download the soft copy if you want. I would say you take the hard copy, because when you take the hard copy, you can remember everything more easily. When you see, when you underline, that is more easily done. Okay, so what he tells in his book, the first few pages or the first seven pages, is that the universe is ruled by a law. Without law, there would be complete chaos. Okay, and there were many people who could predict, who could see something, and hence things such as aeronautics, architecture, radio transmission, surgery, music, everything, they work under some kind of a law, because that is the property of the nature itself. Okay, that is why we keep referring, what is your nature, what is your nature. Uska khud ka, it is something that is common throughout the universe. Even if he says, the book says that Columbus also was wanting to go around the world, and he could go from a westward coast to Europe, and the ships could sail. All this he could predict. And why he could predict? Because a phenomena, if it is there, it keeps on repeating again and again and again, just like sun, just like moon. Similarly, he tells that the Halley's comet, which was first seen in 1682, its return could be predicted, which was verified in 1759. Marconi studied the electrical transmission, and now today we can all listen to music from across the world, right? Or even for that communication, video communication, everything. We Indians have fixed our entire calendar based on the cycle of the moon thousands of years ago, right? So man is also not unlike a natural object. The action, reaction, all of them can be predicted, or at least will reoccur, because the participants change, but the nature of the man does not change. Okay, so Eliot goes on to say here that stock market remains one of the most studied place for every kind of human interaction, the emotions that are flowing through everything, probably that there is. Okay, so how could it happen? What were the rhythms in it? In 1929, many might not be knowing, and most I guess would be knowing. It was one of the biggest crash that ever occurred in the United States. Okay, there was a huge rally, and then followed by a huge dump. There was completely chaos. The investors were caught off guard, but between 1928 to 1932, There were corporations, developed. There were hundreds and thousands of dollars that were spent in order to make sure, is there anything that we could predict? And people were obsessed with the market. From an outside, it looks like a very random movement, price going up, price going down. But it was later theorized and very popularly by Elliot that the prices, when seen from the point of view of a complete rhythm, they actually tend to move very harmoniously. But for this, there are five things. We may not understand the cause fully behind why it is working like that. But if the five things are available, then surely it is possible to take at least the major degrees, the major swings up and the down can be precisely calculated. That is what his theory was. So, what were the five things? So, number one, he told extensive commercial activity represented by corporations whose ownership is widely distributed. Okay, like ऐसा corporation where the activity is being recorded, a place where there is a buyer and a seller, a general marketplace, reliable record of publication. This is where many scams and all happen. That is why many companies go bust. D was regard to adequate statistics on all matters relating to the corporations. Every matter, expense, invoices, the sales, the market turnovers, everything. And then the daily ratio and the movement, so that all degrees can be the high and the low along with the range that we sell as tell as OHLC, the open, high, low and close. These four to be available, so that the minor and minute waves along with the major ones can be correctly seen. Thereafter, what happens is Elliot goes on to give his clarification with respect to Fibonacci sequence. I hope you all know. If you don't know, then it is directly you start with 1, okay? Then you get the next number 2, add both of these, you get the next number 3, add both of this, you get the next number 5, add both of this, you get the next number 8, add both this, you get the next number 13, so on and so forth. Okay, 21, then 34, then 55, okay, then 89, so on and so forth. Okay, this is how you get this sequence. What has been seen is this is a very common sequence, and you will find it in the mathematical world also, except for 1 and 2. When you divide the numbers, like 2 divided by 3, 3 divided by 5, 5 divided by 8, 8 divided by 13, all of them come down to one single ratio, that is 61.8% or 0.618. This is the magic number that it boils down to. Okay, 0.618 on the division. So the author R.N. Elliot takes the example of Giza. Okay, so he says in this that the pyramids of Giza that are there, it has a base, right? And if you see, this is how it is spread out. So one base is one surface, and 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 triangles. Okay, 4 triangles, total 5 surfaces. And how many lines can you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are total 8 lines you can see. And total of this is 13. Right? So this is how he says that when he sees the pyramid of Giza, and not only that, so he sees 5 surfaces, okay, 8 lines, and total of 13, right? All of them depicting a Fibonacci sequence. Not only that, He said that when you see it from a side, the ratio of the elevation to the base also comes down to 0.618. And that is how he treats this number 0.618 as a very important facet in the entire theory. So after this, what happens? You are now doing 3 divided by 5. If you reverse it, 5 divided by 3 or 8 divided by 5, the ratio comes to 1.618. Obviously, you cannot see it in a whole number, it is difficult to represent, but it is addition of a unity 1. And he says that Fibonacci, an Italian mathematician, he was there, and from there he got it. And the most common example that you see is this: the seeds of a sunflower are located in curved rows and intersect each other. Okay, and the highest number of intersections that are possible is 144. Okay, highest number of intersections that are possible, and this completes the cycle. Therefore, Elliot came after observing the markets how many bull waves or how many bear waves can be there. So he combined two of the things. One is the pyramids and the Fibonacci sequence and his observations that led him to major conclusion. What was the major conclusion? That if we say we have a bull market, we have a bear market, so number of waves, right? Number of waves. The major waves in bull market will be 5, in bear market will be 3, and the total will be 8. The intermediate will be 21 waves in a bull market, 13 waves in a bear market, the total of 34 waves, right? And the minor degree waves will be 89 in bull market, 55 in bear market, and 144, but never more than 144. That is why the takeaway from here is, remember the numbers 5, 8, 13, the Fibonacci sequence 61.8, 1.618, and that the total number of waves in a complete cycle can never be more than 144. That completes what? That completes one complete up move and one complete down move. The bull market and the bear market. Okay, so this is as far as the introduction of the book goes. After this, we will start with how the Elliot markings are there or how the waves are being decided. But even in that, a precursor will be there of human activities. I hope you have found this useful. I am teaching directly from the book of Elliot. I am not trying to skip anything in that, so that whatever the actual thing that the author wanted to convey is conveniently told to you in a language that everybody can understand. Thank you. Keep commenting, keep asking any questions, any doubts in the comment sections. See you soon on the fourth episode.